Hello, Inge. So in this first video, you want to talk about your most favorite topic, which is yourself.
Yeah. Actually, I am not really my most favorite
I know, I
topic.
was joking.
It's not so interesting, but the style of my working. Um, Through the years, it's become clear to me that it's a little bit different than most people. Not better, not worse. So I'd like to say a little bit about how I work. And that makes future talks and uh, topics maybe a little bit easier to place for people.
Okay. So
Okay.
what is different with you from like most people? Like, for example, people are most of the time familiar with channelers.
That is correct. Uh, Channeling, you usually use, well, not usually, you always use an other energetic being, or for some people it goes via, but there's always something between yourself and the information that you get and then share. Then there's downloading, which people are even more familiar with these days. I don't know how long. It used to be 20 years ago, all people knew about was channeling. Now it's downloading. Is you go to a specific point, but you still use steps to go to a specific point and have an intermediary that allows for the downloading. You go to a specific space, and that's where you retrieve the information.
Like, for
So,
example, people who go to the Akashic records or something like that.
yes. So there's still the possibility of perhaps being in a place that you think it's one place, but it's another place. So that's what I've discovered with people who that's their way of doing things, downloading and channeling. There could be discrepancies or other information. Anybody can make a mistake. Uh, Nothing is infallible because it does travel through a human being. Once it hits the earth field, all information is vulnerable. Just my way is the most secure way for me. Am I capable of channeling? Yes. Am I capable of downloading? Yes. I've done it, not necessarily on purpose. Things just happen. I also have not studied. I do not use a, what do you call it? It's not something that I've learned how to do, a step plan or a method. It's not a method. I do go through a lot of steps, but usually those are invisible to the public, or when I used to do consults to the client, they're invisible and therefore it appears to go instantaneously. But
Mhm.
the movement is still the movement. It still has certain requirements. It just goes a little bit faster with me sometimes.
So like,
What?
what is happening with you is not channeling, it's not downloading. How would you call it?
It's a direct connection. Depending on where I need to be to do the work, it's I used to call it just source. Then more people started using source, the word source. So now a popular concept, and it is a concept, is the greater field of consciousness. By going to the greater field of consciousness, all consciousness is present. So it's more difficult for someone to be put under the illusion that what information they have is the only truth. Because truth depends on perception and also reference point and point of reference. And all those things can be discussed, but um, maybe we would put that under topics to discuss because
And
there's quite a bit of detail.
you also wanted to mention something like that you need triggers to get information. It's not like you can just sit down and talk about something.
That's correct. It's just I do get information on my own, but it's not like I can say, oh, we'll talk about the sacred animal kingdom today. When I'm in front of people, it depends on the audience, it depends on the trigger I get, and the information that I share is based more on need than want. So there's very little fluff, and it's direct information. Sometimes I can sort of, if it's hard information for people to accept and process, I can soften it a little. It's based on need rather than want. And so if I want to just all of a sudden see things, it doesn't work for me. The information I get on my own, sometimes in the middle of the night or while I'm doing something else, is not usually directly earth and humankind related. It has to do with movements. For example, maybe in inner earth, or something that's going on in the universe. Usually it's more in the multiverse.
So it's less concrete and less like
that.
suited
Other
for
than that,
like a video like this.
questions and the desire for an answer within a person or the need, that's what triggers me, and then I can address it. Most of the time. There are times when I have to say no for various reasons. If I don't know, I will just say I don't know. If I know, but it's not appropriate for the time, I will also say, well, no, I can't bring that information now. So, yeah, that's how simple it is with me. It's really quite simple.
So, and that also brings in the reason why I'm interviewing you, and it's not like you just behind the computer spewing out some information, because like you need a trigger, and that's why you need to have me or somebody else like doing sort of an interview. Huh?
Yes, it's such a part of me that I cannot experience it as, for example, a job, or, oh, at 2 o'clock I have an appointment and I have to start talking and be interesting. It doesn't work like that with me.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to add at this moment?
No, I think that was pretty much what I wanted to say about the way I work. And that was about it as an introduction, I think, to the house.
And then just a remark, like for anybody who was wondering why I'm not visible, and that's because I thought it's about Inge, it's not about me, so nobody's distracted by like my personality or whomever else is interviewing. We'll see how it goes and how we decide. Okay, thank you very much for now.
Okay, thanks.